convince someone to invest their money before they can see the growth plan. And as I was just listening to him, and I was thinking, the county government is ready to support startups, but yes, we are in the AI era right now, artificial intelligence, right? Yes. So for example, for our startup, where we are dealing with administrative professionals who are people who are dealing with really mostly manual work. And I'm sure that's what people take this executive assistant role to be as. But as it grows and as the era of AI checks in, I'm just thinking, what is the plan in terms of making people creating the awareness that AI is not coming to replace jobs, especially for these people who are handling much manual work. And for us guys who are doing startups, for guys who are doing more manual work, what's the plan? Is there like a plan in place where you'll have some training on AI? Of course, we know like right now for even executive assistants, we're using a lot of AI in the industry. We're using some things like Calendly. You might not know about it, but I'm sure guys in the industry do. So what's the plan and what's the relevance of that? But to answer to your question, we have not really gone into funding, looking for funding. Mostly we've done it by ourselves, which is really difficult for a startup. But for you to make people believe in your idea, you have to believe in your own idea, and you have to invest in your own idea. So before I come to you and convince you to put in some money into my idea, you need to see that there's some source of revenue that I'm generating from my own plan. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Well, it does. Muliande, you also have a disruptive idea. Are you open to collaboration with investors? And this is beyond funding, maybe mentorship and guidance.
Oh yes, we are definitely open to collaboration, because at a case in point during the Innovate Nairobi, there are many people who approached us. Of course, them also offering something that we don't offer, and they were like, "This is what we have." For instance, there was an innovation that can be able to bring AI into what we do in terms of predictive learning, where the AI can be able to predict what the learner needs to learn, and then because you already have the material, that material is available to the learners. So I think to answer your question is yes, and again, it is through partnerships we are able to expand our capacities and capabilities. So of course, yes, we are open.
Amaju, back to you. I have a question that is also tied to what I'm about to ask the Chief Officer of Digital Economy and Startups at the Nairobi City County Government. Do you have intellectual property protection for your idea, trademarks, copyrights, and such?
Okay, yes, we do, because you can see that in the market, there's always a lot of ideas around the same thing as what you're launching. You're not the only one who is thinking of this same idea. Everyone comes up with this idea. We have a lot of platforms that are dealing with executive assistants currently, not only on LinkedIn. Like if you look around, you'll find professional bodies that are trying to support administrative professionals, but you're trying to stand out. So you definitely have to have some trademark, you definitely have to protect your brand in some way. But most importantly, as much as you're protecting your brand through trademarks and all that, you need to stand out and show why your brand is different from anyone else's, why the skills is different, or what you're bringing to the investor or to the market that's different from your competitors. Yeah, so we definitely do.
Victor, the reason why I'm saying that question is tied to the one that I'm about to ask you is because I want you to take us through the process that the deal room will use from idea inception all the way to connecting the inventor and the investor. And then we talk about copyright. So you have brought two people on the table and they do not end up agreeing on a few things. Then one ends up breaching the contract. How are you going to protect, or rather avoid such from happening?
Like I said, I think the deal room that we had at Innovate Nairobi is part of a bigger program around funding. And our leaning currently is towards linking corporates to startups. The journey that she takes probably is not the journey for everyone. And part of the frustrations that we see with a lot of startups, fundraising, from outside the continent is it's very rigorous. You know, the investors are also very focused on certain sectors. So what ends up happening is you miss the chance to be able to get money from institutional VCs. So that's one. So we are trying to be able to you know, link local investors with startups. So that's something that is very big. So
just local investors, no foreign investors.
Foreign investment is happening anyway.
Okay.
So what we are saying is, if you look at data, the investment is leaning towards fintech.
Okay.
So startups in education, startups in agtech, startups who are doing software as a service don't get the same opportunity as someone who is in fintech.